Team Swift. Time to go swifting.
The Super Kings finish on a high at home. They keep their playoff hopes well and truly alive. They dealt a severe blow to the Rajasthan Royals' hopes. They're still not qualified. One thinks they would, but they've dealt a severe blow to their top 2 chances. That's 3 defeats in a row now for Sanju Samson's side. We look back at the game at Chepauk. We look forward to the game at Bengaluru here on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. CSK have won by 5 wickets in the 19th over, with Ruturaj Gaikwad unbeaten. That means a very happy Mitchell McClenaghan.
Yes, get in, son. Yeah, good. How do you like them apples?
All called by that man in the far corner on the mid-innings show. Well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it was always a foregone conclusion, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Why didn't you tell us what will happen in the playoffs as well? I'm taking notes now.
I'm going to take a relatively brave call here. I think SRH and KKR will finish top 2. And I think SRH will go straight through to the final.
Save that. If we'll put that in the pin, and then if you get that right, whatever the score is at the end of the playoffs, I'll put you first.
Okay. Right. Perfect. Love it.
All right. Awesome. Varun is here, so too ESPN Cricket Info's Dustin Silgardo. Shall we call that an easy win?
It was quite an easy win. I think Rajasthan was just outplayed by CSK in all departments in their home conditions. Just played the home conditions really, really well. I like the way they approached their batting. They did lose a few wickets, a few extra wickets than they would have liked to, but they've nailed the strategy with just the boundary, the nudge. Like, they made sure they were running really hard, which was really important on this kind of wicket.
Did you like their intent?
I did like the intent, yeah. But the intent was not to hit boundaries, which we were talking about. The intent was also to like obviously hit the bad balls, but also nudge it around and get the singles going, 2s going, 1s going.
Yeah, in many ways, it's like the template of how the opposition team should bat. And that's what Rajasthan would have learned, perhaps. They'd be feeling right now, we could have batted like this and got ourselves to 160.
Having a really good conversation with Tom Moody downstairs. And he was saying...
Never have one with on the show with him. Yeah, so you might as well have it there.
No, and I was taking the piss there. But you're right. It was almost an old school approach to the way you need to bat in T20 cricket, where you do look for, yes, if you get the boundary because you're looking in the squarer zones on a slower wicket, then that's a bonus. But otherwise, it is those 1s, those 2s, and trying to build some frustration on the bowler through that. The guy not being getting and stopping 2, or there's a 1, strikes always rotating. I think in the first innings, I think there was 38% of the balls faced were dot balls. For Rajasthan.
A total of 45 dot balls in that first innings.
That's a lot, and it was almost waiting for those, trying to hit those boundaries, I guess, instead of what you're saying, building pressure through those 1s, those 2s, sitting back a little bit further, looking at different areas than you would on a good wicket, and capitalising that way.
Yeah, I mean, it was old school, as Mitch said. One guy drops anchor and just anchors the innings, and then there's some intent from the other end. Rachin went pretty hard early. Yeah. So in the power play, they got some runs, and then Dubey obviously coming in and showing some intent, kind of killing the game off. I do wonder, though, if Rajasthan could have maybe bowled a bit differently. They didn't bowl that many slow balls at all first up. It looked like they were trying to swing the ball, which is, of course, what their bowlers do best. Yeah, sure. But, on the surface, could they have maybe tried a few more slower ones? They also only brought Chahal into the game, I think, in the 7th or 8th over. So could they have maybe done something a bit differently given the conditions? For
sure. I think the way Trent Bolt started was really good. He backed his strength, swung the ball. Sandeep Sharma got it wrong by coming round the wicket to Rachin Ravindra and trying to hoop it away. Yeah. It's not going to happen in Chennai. Swing. Yeah, it's not going to happen in Chennai in an afternoon game. He should have stuck to over the wicket, trying to angle the ball across him. Rachin Ravindra, we know he likes bounce. He knows he likes anything that's straight. So he just bowled straight, and he got off there to a decent start. And then at the death, they just didn't bowl enough slow balls. They were trying Yorkers. This wasn't a wicket where you should be trying Yorkers. This was more an into the pitch wicket, slow bouncers, slower length balls.
Yeah, get hit off your length.
Yeah, maybe the odd Yorker just to like keep the batsman guessing. But they just tried too many Yorkers. They got their plans wrong. CSK got their plans spot on.
Choice of the impact sub as well from RR. Were you surprised it was Berger?
Yeah. I think the reason they probably went with Berger was because they saw Simajit be successful in their first innings with that extra air speed. But I think it would have been a risk with Maharaj, but he's a very good spinner. And if he was up against a left-hander, I imagine he would have been able to control the damage, but he would have been a really good option to the right-handers on that surface.
I think the onus was on Ashwin today. He started off really well, but that 1 over from Dubey was pretty much the over which closed out the game.
Perfect CSK template at home. That's where their league stage games end at home. They have a massive game against RCB coming up. And we'll talk about RCB in just a little while. But let's just wrap up this game rapid fire style, shall we, with the panel. Gentlemen, if you're ready. Varun, let me start with you. Did Rajasthan pay the price for being a batter light on a tough pitch to score on? 20 seconds.
I don't think it's just that. It's also they batted with the wrong strategy, which was to also focus on getting a lot of singles, a lot of doubles on a wicket like this. They just went for the boundaries, which cost them at the end of the game.
He has some time left. So would you like to take that, since I know you have a slightly different view, but keep it to 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think they could have gone with the extra batter. I think they could have, then it would have given them the flexibility that if they did get behind the run rate and thought they were going to be short of a defendable total, then they could have sent someone up the order to have an impact. Like the Dubey over we saw to Ashwin, they could have come out and 15 to a 20 run over would have changed the momentum of the innings.
Okay, back to you, Varun. Why were Chennai's pacers so hard to play compared to Rajasthan's? 20 seconds.
They got their lengths right, first of all, and knowing the conditions, they deployed their slow balls at the right times to the right batsmen, bowled to great plans, like I said, and also they didn't try too many Yorkers, which is what turned out to be the Achilles heel for the Rajasthan bowlers.
All right. Dustin, Rajasthan's decision to bat first at the toss, was that a mistake in hindsight?
I think the decision to bat first at the toss was fine, but it's more that just the way they batted, they needed to assess the conditions a bit better and realize they need at least, I mean, in the end, even maybe 160 would have been a decent total and would have been a fighting total on the pitch. So I think it was fine to bat first, but they needed at least 15-20 more.
All right. 3 for 26 for Simranjeet Singh. What stood out the most for you, Mitch, for Simranjeet?
Airspeed was good, pace was up again, his lines and lengths were very, very good, and when batters tried to put him under pressure, like Joss Buttler, he followed him, so it means that he's aware of what's happening in the game, and he's playing eyes-up cricket.
Okay, you can all take this one now. Verdict on Ravindra Jadeja's dismissal, obstructing the field. Dustin, you can go first.
But I didn't see it,
Oh
so
my
I'm not
God.
going to go.
Well,
I was on
unlike
my way
Jadeja,
down.
who saw the ball and then... All right. Varun.
That was out. He was far left. He took a huge U-turn, almost went to that side of the wicket, to around the wicket, and then was running. So, I mean, that's pretty much out.
Yeah. No, I agree. Totally agree. It was definitely out. You can't really have any qualms with that decision.
So why did Ravindra Jadeja still have qualms? Because he was arguing his case with the umps.
Oh, yeah, well, because maybe he just realised he made a mistake.
I've seen him do that before, where he runs like that. But is it... You'd like to see a batter who's come halfway down. He would argue that I'm not going to run exactly in a straight line back. I will take some kind of turn. But what you saw there was clearly...
Yeah, maybe he didn't do it on purpose, but to the umpire and all of the people who are looking, it looked like on purpose, and that's what they're going to go by.
Because the images you see him looking at Sanju, changing his line, and then putting his elbows up when he knew he was going to get hit by the ball.
Correct decision made.
Correct decision.
Excellent. And last rapid fire question, again, you guys can take this. 3 defeats in a row. What do Rajasthan need to change? Are they under pressure? Varun.
They really need to get their middle order firing properly. Their top order hasn't been a problem. Today, it was a bit slow, but then the middle order didn't, except Riyan Parag, nobody was playing at a really serious strike rate. And the other thing is, their bowling, their third fast bowler has been a concern. There've been a lot of people trying to slot in and out, and that's going to be what they're going to look at.
We're out of time. Anything to add to that very quickly, though, on Rajasthan?
Yeah, I mean, I think Rajasthan, this is the second season in the row where they're having this losing streak in the second half of the season, and they always get funky with their tactics. Last time, if you remember, they were doing all sorts of things with Jason Holder. Kuldeep Yadav was suddenly bowling the other Kuldeep Yadav was bowling in the death.
McCoy came on
so
as
I think
a random impact
they need to just go back to what was working for them and stick to that format.
They need to get Hetmeyer back as well, quickly.
Yeah, definitely. I think he takes a lot of those decisions out of the equation.
All right, we shall wait and see. For now, they move to Guwahati, which is an adopted home for them. They'll finish off their league stage there. The Super Kings will go to Bangalore in a week's time, or just under a week's time now, to close out their league stage against RCB, who we'll speak of in a little while. But before we move to our evening game, we do have a special conversation that is worth having. It's part of our JBL Mute the World Performer of the Day. Right, it's a good day to put on my wonderful JBL headphones right here and talk about Simarjeet Singh, because that was a stinging result at Ahmedabad, where CSK went down. Simarjeet was taken for quite a few, and he's come back today, so he's silenced his critics. Let's just revisit what stood out for an unsung hero for the day. Varun?
I think it was just what Mitch said, his airspeed, his ability to get a little extra bounce off the wicket, of a slow wicket, which batsmen are generally not expecting. And it was his variations and also his awareness of what the batsmen are doing and to counter anything new which the batsmen were throwing at him.
Yeah, I'm really glad he bounced back, because I thought he bowled very, very well up in Dharmshala against the Punjab Kings. And I'm sure the management there were pretty clear in saying that happens sometimes, so you have a bad game, and he bounced back beautifully. And he was the reason that they got that score. He made impact, or took impactful wickets at the right times.
This is a good story of CSK backing the player. They ran out of patience with Rahane, but in the absence of Chahar, Patirana, Fizz, Simarjeet now.
Yeah, it's the same story as last season with Patirana, where he actually went for quite a few runs in one of his first few games. And then Dhoni said no, but he was bowling the right length. He just got unfortunate and they stuck with him. And of course now he's not playing, unfortunately, but he's been one of their most important players. So perhaps Simarjeet will also be persisted with.
Excellent. I tell you what he can persist with. He's earned himself an evening of relaxation where he can just open up these JBL Tune Beam active noise cancelling. Let me do that again. Where he can open up this JBL Tune Beam active noise cancelling headphones that give you legendary JBL sound. Right. Well done, Simarjeet Singh. He is our JBL Mute the World Performer of the Day. Let's move forward to RCB and DC now, shall we? Toss has taken place at the Chinnaswamy amidst a threat of rain earlier in the day, but it's an on-time toss. The Capitals under Akshar Patel have won it. Rishabh Pant is serving a one-match suspension for slow over rates 1, 2, 3 times in this tournament. And let's just get a reaction on that. Big game for RCB, and the Capitals are one that toss and are chasing. Does that already tilt the advantage to DC?
A little bit, especially if Fraser McGurk gets going, that's tilting the advantage significantly. But it's a big game for both teams. Both teams have to win this to stay in the chase. It's going to be a great game. I think this game is going to be about which team bowls well, because both the batting units look really, really good at the moment. They are going to miss Rishabh Pant a little bit, but Tristan Stubbs has been playing exceptionally well. So that shouldn't be much of a problem. But it's going to be a battle of the bowlers. Yeah. Whichever team bowls well is going to come up tops today.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's a really exciting fixture. It genuinely feels like a playoff game because there's so much riding on it. So I'm excited to see who comes out of the gates the hottest. RCB's shown a lot of intent with the bat throughout the innings. Their batting lineups really found some confidence and some impetus, particularly in those middle overs. So I'm excited to see how Delhi's bowling combats that, because I would say arguably Delhi's spin bowling in the middle has been one of the best combinations outside of Narayan and Varun Chakravarti recently. I think they've really been able to manage that middle innings. So I'm really fascinated to see how they go.
Okay, well, they had to make that one forced change. Let's look at the teams. Delhi first, because there's an interesting change here. One forced with Kumar Kushagra, who we've still not seen the best of after Delhi paid big money for him. But he will come in for Rishabh Pant. Abhishek Poral's been listed as the wicketkeeper. They had a wealth of options in Kushagra, Porel, Shea Hope, even Tristan Stubbs, but looks like Porel will take the gloves. For the first time, though, in a while, David Warner features, but on the impact bench. So you've named 3 overseas. There's no Gulbuddin Naib from that excellent win against Rajasthan in Delhi in the last game. Rasik starts in the bowling 11, so it's an all-bowling lineup on the right-hand side. You can throw Akshar Patel in addition to that, and they're happy to do without any overseas bowler. Mitch, like it?
Yep, I do, because it means David Warner comes in. In my opinion, I think he's going to come in. So it's just going to give them that little bit more depth in their batting lineup. And that left-hander, it'd be interesting to see where he comes in, because I thought Porel and Fraser McGurk actually started the innings off nicely the other night.
Yep.
The only one is Prithvi Shaw. I still feel like he could have had an impact. So I don't know if there's a niggle there or something like that, but probably could have played him instead of Kushagra because you don't need the keeper. You've got Shea, you've got Tristan Stubbs, you've got many options to be able to...
They clearly rate him as the best Indian batter?
Yeah, but you can't play Prithvi Shaw anywhere except opening. He's an out-and-out opener.
Yeah.
But if Purell and Fraser McGurk are going to open, then Prithvi Shaw doesn't really make sense. Kushagra he's one of those batsmen who can bat from number 1 to number 4. So I think number 4 is a good spot. The last time he batted for them, he was really low down the order, and that's not where he should be batting.
If they bring in Warner, though, it's the same thing.
He's going to be the same thing. He's going to get dropped down the bottom.
But Warner is way more experienced than Kushagra. He can play a situation. Warner can tee off from anywhere. I mean,
the question was Warner or Prithvi, I guess.
Yeah.
But again, Warner versus Prithvi, Warner can bat anywhere compared to Prithvi.
Okay, interesting. Nice little audition for the Australian selectors if Warner and Fraser McGurk open here with Porrell dropping.
Do you think there's going to be a late change, do you?
I'm just saying. If Fraser McGurk gets a 30-ball 90 today and Warner 16 of 17, that might be fun.
Well, yeah, no, it's fascinating. I mean, look, it's pretty much sounds like it's been extinguished. That possibility of that happening is almost, unless there's a genuine injury, I don't think he'll be in that squad.
It's funny how the season for Delhi or the story for Delhi's turned out that their best team now sees an all-Indian bowling attack at perhaps the toughest ground of the league, but no arguments against
Yeah, I mean, the overseas bowlers were struggling anyway, so I guess they've just decided that this makes more sense. And, I mean, if Warner comes in, I think he can open with Fraser McGurk because Porrell has also batted lower down at times and done okay, so they have a bit of flexibility with the batting line.
All right, Akshar Patel will lead them. We will see how that goes. He has the luxury of at least bowling first and knowing what they'll need to chase, which could be anything at the Chinnaswamy. Let's have a look at the RCB team, see if there are any surprising changes. Nope. Lomror keeps his place. No Glenn Maxwell. Lockie Ferguson in what's a split between Faf, Will Jacks and Cam Green as the all-rounder. The one overseas quick, so no Vaishak either. And we can expect a bowler to be added in the form of Swapnil Singh. He often is impacted in, even towards the end of the batting innings, to if they need him to just come and hit a few. So is that the usual course? Why change much? RCB have done so well in the last 4 games or so.
Yep. All news out of the camp as well as that everyone's rolling nicely. So they're all in good spirits. So they just obviously felt like they didn't get off to the best start at the start of the season. But they're rolling really nicely at the moment. So consistency helps at this point. The interesting matchup, I think Siraj has really hit his straps. I think he's been bowling beautifully the last 2 or 3 games in particular. We saw how impactful he was the last home game that they had, and it'll be interesting to see that matchup with Fraser McGurk and the celebrations after it if he's able to break through.
All right. Now, we spoke of how Delhi story's been quite an unusual one with who has put their hands up and kept Delhi very much alive at this stage, late stage of the league stage. And it's funny that they both have similar stories in a way, do RCB and Delhi. 2 players that you wouldn't have put in your first 11s pre-season, but Jake Fraser McGurk and Will Jacks, since they've been part of the respective franchises in their debut IPL seasons, you've got Fraser McGurk striking at nearly 236. That's just incredible, even for this year's IPL, which has been insane. And Will Jacks, who really set his stocks up after he took down Rashid Khan in Ahmedabad with that 100 that he picked up. He blazed from 50 to 100 in the blink of an eye. And we just look at how the teams have fared when Fraser McGurk's been part of Delhi's team and when Will Jacks has been part of RCB's team. So it's 5-2. So Fraser McGurk's been on a hot streak. Will Jacks has seen better fortunes of RCB winning as well. When they were out, the teams were struggling with just 1 win out of 5. And that's the batting impact rank that they've had for their team. So Fraser McGurk, as per our numbers, ESPN Cricket for Smart Stats, the highest impact player for Delhi, and Will Jacks is the 2nd highest impact player for RCB. No points guessing the first, but quite a unique story for 2 young overseas players, isn't it?
It is, especially for Fraser McGurk. He hadn't played much cricket before this, especially coming into a league like this where you've got quality bowling. To come and just blitz everybody from ball 1 has been spectacular to watch, and with the confidence and fearlessness he's gone about doing it, it's just been brilliant.
Who's retaining them? Come on, call it now.
Will Jacks
for sure.
Will Jacks.
Will Jacks to be retained.
I think they'll both get retained.
Will Jacks ahead of Maxwell, perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Well,
I mean, I don't know about what the retention rules will be, but I would think that Fraser McGurk at least would be very high on that list. I mean, just on Fraser McGurk, some of his numbers are just ridiculous. Like, we were talking about intent earlier. He has an aggressive intent of 75%. That means 3 out of every 4 balls.
Yeah,
he's trying to hit a 4 out of 6. The next best in the league is Sunil Narayan, who's 57%. So he's like 18% ahead of the next guy.
To have that level of consistency with that level of attacking intent.
Well, that's been the thing, right? He's always been a talent.
Yeah.
We've seen in the Big Bash, but in the past he's played a couple of big shots and then got out. So we've only seen small glimpses of what Fraser McGurk's done in this IPL, and the consistency at that strike rate is absolutely remarkable.
Yep, brilliant. It's been fun watching Fraser McGurk. Even that ball that hit him on the box of Trent Bolt, does that count in aggressive intent?
I mean, if he swung at it, then yes. If he tried to hit a 4,
Just trying to say, no, that's also gone then. He recovered so well from there and smashed it against Rajasthan. Right, Ishan Sharma swinging the new ball. Let's very quickly enter the impact zone. Okay, let's get straight into this now. I don't know who would have fared best in the first game, but you'll have the results revealed at the end of the day. Now, I'll let Varun go first earlier today. So, Mitch, you can have your turn now.
I will go Fraser McGurk.
All right, Jake Fraser McGurk. Varun Aaron?
I'm going to go Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli. Dustin?
Rajat Patidar.
Patidar in good form as well. Bowler time now. Dustin, you can go first.
Let's go for Khalil Ahmed.
Khalil for Dustin.
Oops.
Varun?
It's a good bounce on that wicket.
I'm going to go for... I wanted to go for Khalil. Kuldeep Yadav.
Okay, Kuldeep Yadav and Mitch.
Are we going to say Will Jacks is going to bowl?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's like Mohan.
Bowling, okay, it's going to be...
You want to
Can I
the
see one of the teams here, please?
Can you please
Thank
show
you.
him the
Apologies.
RCB or Delhi teams, please? There you
Thank
go.
you. I will go with Khan Sharma.
Karan Sharma and the wildcard. Mitch, you can keep looking at the team.
I will go with Will
Or was it
Jacks.
Varun who starts? Varun starts, yeah. Varun, you start.
I'll go with Cam Green.
Cam Green. Mitch.
Will Jacks.
Will Jacks. Dustin, you should have just said Will Jacks, Varun.
Let's do Tristan Stubbs.
Tristan Stubbs. Now, I may not be around, but you will be in the very capable hands of Mr. Jha, and I will pick for the both of us, so we can still take. I will take Akshar Patel, Delhi's captain.
It's a good one.
Siraj, who Mitch has said is in very good form, so I'll take Siraj as well. And why not toss in Cameron Green?
No, Green's gone.
Green's gone.
Oh, Green's gone. I'm not paying attention. In which case, let's put in
David Warner.
David Warner. Very good. David Warner. Why not? Okay. That's where we leave it. Predictions, quickly. Mitch.
Will Jacks to score a second 100
Jacks to go second 100 or
of the tournament. The score will be 245.
245. Massive score. Varun Aaron.
220.
Okay.
Faf is getting anything between 60 to 70.
60 to 70.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it. And finally, Dustin.
I will say 185. Let's go on the lower end.
Okay, low balling it. And
Rajat Patidar to hit 3 sixes in an over.
3 in and over. I like it. All right, that's all we've got time for. Big game this. We see you at the end of the RCB innings. For Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout, powered by JBL. Download the mobile app if you haven't already. Fastest scores and so much more. You can check the updated points table after CSK's hugely significant win against Rajasthan Royals. We'll see you at the end of this innings.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.